You know, for the longest time, we've all thought of space as the final frontier. But what if the biggest unknown, the most valuable and, well, vulnerable territory, isn't out there in the stars, but right here, inside our own heads? Let's dive into this new frontier, the human mind, and the revolutionary and really risky tech being built to get inside it. So, what you're looking at here might seem like something out of a movie, but believe me, it's very real. This is what's called a brain-computer interface, or a BCI. Basically, devices can now read the electrical signals of your brainwaves, and powerful AI can translate those signals directly into, well, anything. Art, music, even commands for a computer. Just imagine someone who is paralyzed being able to communicate just by thinking. The potential here to heal and connect, it's just immense. And that brings us to the big, kind of unsettling question at the heart of all this. If a machine can read your mind and then create something from your thoughts, who actually owns it? Is it you, the company that built the BCI, the programmers who wrote the algorithm? This right here is where the battle for your brain really kicks off. And look, this isn't some far-off, futuristic problem. It is a crisis that's unfolding right now in labs and in boardrooms. To really get what's at stake, we first have to understand the data itself, the data our brains are constantly producing.
Okay, so we're talking about something way more personal than your fingerprints or your search history. Neural data is on another level. Think about it. It's involuntary, it's incredibly intimate, and it can predict your behavior. It can show your emotional reactions or even hidden biases before you're even aware of them yourself. It is, quite literally, the raw material of you.
So this whole conflict forces us to look at two totally different ways of thinking. On one side, you've got the classic idea from philosopher John Locke. His labor theory of property is pretty simple. When you put in the mental work to come up with an idea, you create something new, and it should belong to you. Your thoughts are your property. Simple enough? But on the other side, you have this much darker modern reality that scholar Shoshana Zuboff calls surveillance capitalism. In her view, companies are not just providing a service. They're actually extracting what she calls behavioral surplus, all the extra data they scrape from you that they don't really need. And this data, your neural data included, gets bundled up into prediction products and sold to whoever wants to influence what you do next.
And this really nails the problem with our whole system of consent. I mean, we've all done it, right? Mindlessly clicking, I agree on some endless terms and conditions. But as Zuboff points out, when this so-called choice is between using some essential new technology and having your brain data mined, or just being locked out completely, is that really a meaningful choice, or is it just the illusion of one?
And this isn't just a hypothetical debate in some university classroom. Seeing this threat coming, the nation of Chile did something historic back in 2021. They became the very first country in the world to actually change their constitution to protect neurorights. They basically declare that your mental privacy is a fundamental human right just as important as the right to life itself.
But the fight for our brains isn't just about big ideas and philosophy. It's already starting to move out of the lab and into our day-to-day lives, beginning with the one place most of us spend a huge chunk of our time: work.
This has led to a brand new concept and, honestly, a kind of creepy one: neurolabor. This is the point where management theory goes beyond just making your workflow better and starts trying to optimize your brain itself. The goal is to directly monitor and manage your attention, your emotions, even your mood, all for the sake of productivity. To see just how radical a shift this is, just look at this comparison. On the left, you have the old Fordist factory. The philosopher Antonio Gramsci said that automating all the physical work basically turned the worker into a trained gorilla. But here's the weird thing. It actually freed up their mind to wander, to dream, maybe even think some rebellious thoughts. Now look to the right, to the digital factory of today. The so-called brain-friendly workplace isn't about freeing your mind, it's about managing it. The risk isn't that you'll have nonconformist thoughts. The risk is losing your cognitive autonomy altogether.
And you can see the pattern here, right? We went from ergonomics, just designing a better chair for your body, to designing software that was easier on your brain, and now we're moving directly to emotions and managing how people feel. The tech keeps changing, but the core mission of management stays exactly the same: crush inefficiency. Okay, so as disturbing as all that corporate stuff is, the stakes get way, way higher when this tech leaves the office and marches onto the battlefield. We're talking about the augmented soldier. Just look at this timeline. It shows you how fast this is all moving. Right now, we're already using brain stimulation to help restore memories.
In this decade, the goal is to enhance or even rewrite them. By the 2030s, we could see the first commercial implants for memory. And by the 2040s, maybe the ability to delete memories altogether. What starts out as therapy can become something else very, very quickly.
And that something else is the augmented soldier. Major world powers, the US, China, Russia, you name it, are pouring money into BCI research. They're looking to enhance their soldiers, to create warfighters who are faster, stronger, and more connected than ever before.
But here's the catch. There's this incredibly dangerous paradox at play. For every new capability you add to a soldier, you also add a new vulnerability. Every single digital connection that makes them stronger, linking them to drones, to command, to their weapon, also becomes a digital doorway, an attack surface for an enemy to hack not just their gear, but their actual mind.
So, what kind of threats are we talking about? Well, honestly, it's the stuff of nightmares. Things like neural hijacking, where an enemy literally takes control of a soldier's actions, or data interception, where their thoughts are stolen for blackmail. Imagine having your connection to the world jammed in the middle of a firefight. This isn't just a new kind of weapon. It's a whole new terrifying domain of warfare.
Which brings us to the most important question of all. Facing all of this, from the office to the battlefield, how on earth do we protect the human mind? Well, the answer might be in creating a whole new category of human rights. The good news is, people are working on it. International groups like the United Nations are scrambling to build some defenses. What you're seeing here is a proposed UN framework. It's based on 3 key things: leadership to get governments to take this seriously, a new institutional architecture to make the rules, and clear strategies for how to regulate this stuff globally. The idea is to build a worldwide agreement before the tech gets too far ahead of us.
And from all these discussions, experts are starting to land on 5 core neurorights. First, the right to personal identity, so no one can alter who you are. Second, the right to free will, to make your own choices. Third, the right to mental privacy, which is the big one, the right to keep your thoughts your own. Fourth, equal access, so these powerful enhancements don't create a new, divided society of the augmented and the unaugmented. And finally, the right to be protected from biased algorithms making decisions based on our brain data.
So that's really where we stand today, right at this incredible and kind of scary crossroads. The technology to merge our minds with machines is exploding. It promises amazing things, healing and connection that we could only dream of before. But it also throws down this fundamental challenge, and it leaves us with one last massive question to think about. As our minds and machines become one, how will we protect the very things that make us human?